Oh, geez, that's real loud over there. I'm gonna turn that down a smidge.
Did you unmute?
Yep, I sure am. I'm just kidding, I didn't. But you know what?
I hear it echoing in someone's something.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's probably me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
So you're all just gonna have to be quiet. Sorry.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So the good news is, the bad news was I was muted. The good news is I caught it 30 seconds in as opposed to 30 minutes in.
Hey.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Progress.
Yeah.
Yep. So, as always, welcome to Reality Break, where we take a break from the real world to play some Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons. So, we have, hopefully, most likely a fun-filled session where the party has a lot of places they can go, a lot of people they can talk to, and a lot of secrets that need to be revealed. But, before we get into that...
People, places, and things.
I know, all of the nouns. There's some pronouns, there's some anti-nouns, there's some semi-professional, amateur nouns. I don't know.
I don't know
No?
what you're saying.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Is someone's stream unmuted?
Someone's stream unmuted. I mean, I have mine, but but mine's on my phone.
Can you turn it
I'm
down?
hearing
just
like
one
a delay.
volume? Yeah, I thought I was hearing the stream too.
Yeah, mine's like super low. I mean, I'll move it over there.
Mine's muted.
Wow.
Yours is muted too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm
That was
Mine
it.
doesn't
I
exist.
think your microphone is super sensitive. It's just like hearing like Tony.
Tony. Hi. Okay. Hey, we're professionals. So let's get into our normal spiel before we get into tonight's session. I think I know. Hold on.
What?
Do I know? No, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Did you get any on you?
The things my microphone normally doesn't pick up. I apologize.
There we go.
The mic right now, you're gonna hear everything.
There you go.
The look on your face was brilliant. Oh my god. I'm crying.
Hashtag sorry not sorry.
Hashtag sorry, not sorry. So, let's get into our spiel and then actually maybe try to play. Who knows? So, we are playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and
Dragons! So I'll take the spiel. I'll start the spiel tonight because, I'm in the mood. So, if you see something tonight during the stream that is funny, that is heartfelt, that is serious, that is goofy, that is whatever, you could take a clip of it on Twitch. So there's the little clapper thing, the movie clapper thing, lights, camera, clip. You can hit that button and it'll save up to, I think, the last minute's worth of content. And you can title that clip whatever you want, and then it will save it and link our page to it. So what it does is it helps with the Twitch algorithm to have people come and find the clips and have them check out the stream. And we can also upload it to our various social media platforms, TikTok, YouTube, and YouTube Shorts, and X's gonna give it to you. Shout out for terrible social media. Thanks, Elon.
I think you're kind of loud, Tony.
No shit!
You need to calm down.
Okay, sorry. Alright, so I'll scale it back.
Too loud.
I'm sitting back now. No.
It doesn't
So,
matter, you'll be back up in 3 seconds.
it really doesn't. I'm trying, and I've been trying for a long time.
Have you
But
tried turning your volume down?
you turn your volume down.
I can't. I'm on my phone.
Anyway. Alright.
Clancy's the new Flint.
Yep. Hey, let's just switch that real quick because we are... There we go. Now we're right. Shout out to Jeff Brown. The cameras are mixed up. So Bill was Clancy and Claire was Flynn. So, but we're good now. So anyway, clips. Do them. They're great. Do them. They're great, and they help us with the algorithm. Claire, where can people go check out our various clips?
You can go on TikTok We post them there sometimes. We also have our YouTube, which we post a lot of our clips on. And go subscribe there, go leave a comment, all those usual YouTuber things. But they do actually help. They keep us relevant, and the more people who comment and more people who like, it'll please the algorithm gods, and we'll be more likely to show up on other people's. Share it with your friends, share it with your mom, go to an old retirement home and try to explain D&D to all those people, and then have them watch us if they're confused. It'll be great.
It'll be even more confused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't know that
Maybe don't start with us. We're like advanced level.
By your mom.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
Hey-ho. Fantastic. Bill, is there any place that people can go and hang out and talk D&D and talk about our sessions that's on the internet?
I bet there is somewhere. No.
Somewhere where? I don't know.
You can go to Reality Break.
No, the
And
break
come
room.
talk to us. No, you can go to the break room. You can go on Discord. We have our own little Discord. It's called the Break Room. It's amazing. It's Reality Break's Break Room. You can find all kinds of memes there and go come and check it out and hang out with us and slap down your own. I'm tripping over myself now. You can go and check out some nifty business. You can find out what we've got going on. You can also see all the nifty D&D memes and all the nifty things going on and some of our little dice stuff that we're buying, all the things like this. Go check out all those nifty things over at the Break Room on Discord.
For sure.
Check it out.
For sure. Alright, so I saw some feedback regarding mics, so I tweaked it a little bit. Hopefully this is better. Fantastic, Bill. As always, you are valued and appreciated, and we love you.
Back to you in the studio, Kelly.
And finally, to follow up on last week's special announcement, Christy, do you want to go over our partnership? Not sponsorship, partnership, one more time.
like collaboration. Yeah, so
There we go.
actually partnered with Hexwood Creations. And Hexwood, Art over at Hexwood makes these really pretty dice boxes. So I've got one that holds not all of my dice, but a lot of my dice, and they're magnetic and they go together, come with a rolling tray. And he actually makes things that like stack, so you can stack several of them up and hold all of your dice. He also makes wooden signs and cutting boards and dice towers and little cups and all sorts of cool wooden things. And we have a code with him. So if you go over to hexwoodcreations.com, it links to his Ko-Fi shop or coffee shop. I don't know how to. I would say Ko-Fi. And put in RB20, RB20 into the when you check out, you get 5% off. And make sure you tell him that we sent you.
There we go. So shout out to Hexwood Creations for setting up the discount code for us. Go over there. Quality products. I was leafing through their website the other day, and he has some really cool, really funny stuff out there. So
Also, just found out he's going to be at Gen Con as well. So if you're going to go to Gen Con, which is in, I think, 2 weeks, and you should go say hi.
there we go. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna do one more little tweak of everybody because just got to get those volumes right. Alrighty then. So squeezy you, squeezy you, squeezy you, squeezy you, and squeezy you. All right. All right, and then we'll squeezy you just because. Alright,
We squeeze.
there we go. Alright.
So you turn us up and...
Yep, I turned myself down, turned you all up. So, let me know if that's still good. Using Discord makes sense now. Yep, it's a good time. So hopefully that works. If we need to tweak some more, we'll go through it. I'll probably tweak it around the break at this point. So, if nobody has anything else... Except Devin maybe wanting to play us a little ditty from one of the instruments in the background? No?
No.
No? Okay. Fair.
Actually, Morag is a bard now.
Morag is not a bard.
She took a level in Bard.
Morag's background is a bard.
Alright, so,
We can all play a little ditty together.
there we go. Alright, so without further ado, let us get into the world of Reality Break. So, last we left, the party had made it to the city of Moore. They had spent the night at Jen's long-lost great-uncle's studio apartment, basically.
Sorry.
Boo.
Boom.
That's strike one.
And so they had a good night's sleep. Jen got to go and reconnect with her family via magic crystal telecommunication.
TM.
It's magic, trademark. And she gathered around it. And then they woke up the next day. They did some walking around the city, got a really weird vibe. They went to go talk to the commander of the local garrison to get some information about, what was going on with all of the stuff that had been happening all over the countryside and what had happened more specifically. And then they had made their way. They made a quick pit stop for lunch at a very lovely little side cafe and made their way to the governor's mansion, where Kira had some kind of weird reaction. We don't know what happened.
That's right.
Kira doesn't even really know what happened.
Nope.
But they got some more information, they got some more names, and we left with the party walking out of the governor's estate. And switch the music up. Okay.
And roll for initiative.
Nope. Not quite. All right.
Jesus.
So,
Take down all.
so at this point, you guys are standing in front of the governor's estate, and looking to figure out what your next move is going to be.
Well, should we find out anything more about her scribe, do you think? The one who died?
She seemed to be pretty uncaring about that.
I mean, she said, some kind things, but I don't know if maybe the scribe's family could tell us more. If they were able to pull off some pretty magical things to fend off, I mean, the Thieves Guild, if we do think it is the Thieves Guild, it sounds a lot like it, but, if they were able to pull something like that out, I think it's definitely worth the possibility of talking to them. If that's the way you all want to go.
It's not just the harbor.
Did Kira leave or did she just hide?
She just kind of tucked behind Morag and listened.
Just wanted to make sure that we didn't have to worry about whether you took off.
No, but she's definitely not paying attention. She's like
Kira.
1,000 yards staring. She's pale.
Are you still behind me?
I probably would have been first out the door.
Yeah.
But didn't go real far.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was figuring as we were walking, being like, kind of like, Kira, are you okay? What's up?
I feel like I've seen a ghost, to be honest. It's, I think I knew her. I think I know the governor. Or
How?
it was so long ago, but she looks just like someone I crossed before I was even in the Thieves Guild. And honestly,
Someone you crossed?
Yeah, but she might not recognize. I don't know. She might not recognize me. It was a really long time ago, and I honestly thought she died or was exiled during the war, but she's here, and this town is creepy with there's elves everywhere, and it's way too clean, and I don't trust her because she's not who she says she is, or at least she wasn't who she says she is now, or she isn't who she was. I don't know how she's here.
Well, so you just said you wondered if she would have been exiled. Does that mean that she was on the side of the Lionhearts?
Oh yeah, she was one of the more corrupt governors that was out there back in the day. To be honest, I stole
And-
quite a lot of money from her back in the day.
And now she's back in power, or has she ever lost power?
No idea. And she looks
Wait,
kind
was
of
she
looks around
weird
and it's
to-
like, I'm not really comfortable talking about this out in the open, but I thought she was gone. I thought she went the way of a lot of the other governors and lords and ladies and ruling class back then. This is before the war. Would not have expected her to end up in power on this side of the war, if that makes sense.
Clancy, did you recognize her?
Something I have to roll for, or would he vaguely know?
If you want to roll a history check, you can. Otherwise, I could leave it in your hands. It's up to you.
Do you ever go to Arceus? Arceus? How do you say it, Tony? I forget.
Arceus.
Arceus.
Did you ever go to Arceus?
Rolled a 13.
13. There were there were talks around the dinner table, because, you had to deal with it later on in life, with who you fell in love with, but there were talks, around the dinner table and stuff like that of one of your uncles, or distant cousins or something like that had married an elf, which was kind of like taboo. You guys never actually crossed paths, but you heard that there had been someone that had married, one cousin or, uncle or something like that had married an elf, and she had helped, rule one of the cities to the west of where you lived. So.
So,
I haven't
was
heard
she in? Oh, sorry.
directly, but I've heard something similar in regards to the exile, I believe.
Well, I don't know if that's but she was in charge of the town and was not she was very corrupt at the time, and I don't know if it's the same here.
Seems pretty corrupt here.
Yeah, I mean, I had not great vibes about this city before I found out she was in charge of it.
But she was in charge of Arceus.
Yeah, she was the guy.
Prior.
Can we find a place?
I figure we would be
to go?
walking.
Yeah, you have a couple different places you guys have mentioned. You've been given the harbor master to go talk about, stuff that had happened at the harbor during the garrison commander's attack. You know about the spiked javelin, which is where, that's where the blacksmiths and the weapon shops are. You had talked about going to the religious district. So you have a couple different options for places to go, and you'd eaten like 11 Z's before you went in and talked to the governor. And so it's around 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Kara will just open up the bag of sandwiches and start handing them out to the halflings as she's very distractedly talking and food, comfort food.
Yeah. I will say the closest destination to the closest to where you're at would be the docks.
Perfect. Let's go there.
Kira's just following where everybody else is going.
We have to talk to the harbor master anyway. Do you recall about when it was that you crossed this woman?
It was before the war, not very much before the war. It was a really long time ago.
Okay.
So what, war was what, 25 years ago? So a little more than that.
So you're making your way through the streets, and it's not, the governor's estate is not very far from the docks, and you are making your way around. Because everyone's passive perception is, really, really high. When you guys
Not
are,
mine, remember.
you know what? You're kind of used to, like, yeah, it's not the greatest, but you're also kind of used to being around people that kind of are really good at sensing things, so you kind of pick up on vibes and stuff. So you are noticing as you're walking through the streets, kind of similar to how you'd been walking all day, where, there's, hush talk, stuff like that. There are a couple instances where you do see, very similar to when you'd run into Jen's great uncle, beggars on the street, but you also notice that as soon as they see soldiers like marching up the street, they kind of like, you notice them kind of duck back into alleys until they pass.
So the poor aren't even allowed to beg. Do we have a handful of coins we could give them?
Sure, I mean...
When she
Sorry, I was writing notes.
Absolutely.
I mean, we could. Are we going to start giving out money to all beggars?
I mean, if they're stuck here. I don't know, we could spare a gold for each of them, right?
Sure, we can do that. I honestly, yeah, why not?
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, you notice...
Who knows? Maybe we'll find another long-lost relative.
Yeah. But it's always good to make friends with the people who have eyes all over the city.
That's true. I don't think I could handle any more long-lost anybody's showing up today.
I feel that. I'm gonna kind of like quietly like just walk up to each of them. I'm gonna grab a handful of the party gold from her, and then if you want to just let us know how many beggars there are, I'm gonna give them each one gold.
Yeah, okay, so walking along the street...
2,000.
Not quite. So walking along the street, you run into... I don't like that. Let's do that again. Alright. So you run into like 3 beggars.
I'll give them each 2 then.
Yeah, because it's not a far walk from the governor's estate to the docks. So yeah, and they look at you after, especially...
Watch you a little while. I'll tell them each.
Oh, thank you very much. And they all, kind of do the same thing. And, the third person you give the gold to is a gnome. And they look at you and say, appreciate you looking out for the small folk as well. It's very kind of you.
Yeah, be careful. Watch out for yourself. This should be able to take care of you for a little while.
Yeah, it's very much appreciated. Thank you.
We walk away. Kira's just gonna. I want to ask the gnome, like, what's it like living here?
And the gnome,
a sandwich.
Gnome kind of
split her sandwich and hand him half.
Oh, thank you very much. Swoops it down. What I will say is, if you're in, you most of the time you're fine. They don't tend to treat people terribly, but they like to keep up appearances, it seems like. There's been times when they've taken unruly folk, someone like us that gets a little too unruly and just throw them into jail for no real reason. I'm only had to do this because my shop went under and I was unable to get any kind of loans or any kind of help or anything, so I've had to kind of resort to this for as long as I can, and then I'm trying to save up as much money as I can before I can move. I wouldn't say I'm treated harshly, but at the same time, I also keep to myself. And they gesture down to themselves, and they're like, you can see I wouldn't be much for unruliness anyway.
What did you sell?
Oh, I had a clothing shop. It wasn't the finest material in the world. It wasn't the finest material in the world, but, it kept people warm in the winters and helped them feel comfortable in the summers. And that's what I took pride in.
Hey,
Well, why did your shop go under? What was it? Was it taxes or?
Oh, I mean, a bit of it was taxes. I mean, they kept going higher and higher, and, you can only do so much selling, You try to change fashions with each summer and with each season and each year, but, a city this size, if you don't have a steady, consistent clientele, then it's going to be gone before you know it. And, I tried to go to the, to get a loan to try to pass me, try to, cover some expenses while I worked things out, and I kept getting denied for a loan, and government assistance ran out after a while, and here I am.
Do you ever get goods confiscated?
I mean, there's always the corrupt, sergeant now and then that likes to come in and strong-arm you for every once in a while. But I never felt like I was always getting shaken down or anything like that.
It's once in a while.
What's once in a while? Oh!
Once a month, once every couple months, once
Oh!
a year.
Well, back when I had my shop, it was only, it was usually about once every month or two, and, it's just one of those things that, you come to expect when living in a big city. And since they gesture around, since I've been in this situation now, I've mostly tried to keep myself out of the, eyes, purview, if you will, of the guards, so I tend to be able to make my way without being bothered, but that's because I try not to be a bother.
Tell you what, you make it out of this city. You go to Furon. Nobody shakes down anybody without reason there. They're much nicer to small folk. This place is terrible. Get out if you can. Tell your friends.
and speaking of which, actually, maybe we can give you a job to make some money to get out of the city. Our friend here needs some new pants.
Oh! And, they look over at Clancy and say, oh, yes, I mean, I'm not one to speak, but those pants don't seem to quite reach the way they're supposed to.
Yeah, I've had some unfortunate
A growth
incidents.
spurt. He had a growth spurt.
Right.
But if you have your materials and you want to make me something that would actually fit, I'd be more than willing to pay you for it.
Right. Oh, well, tell you what, I mean, once a seamster, always a seamster. So, I always keep my materials on hand because you never know when opportunity may strike. So I can absolutely, and they kind of stand up, and you see them moving like a little gingerly, kind of shuffling, but they whip out of this, black tattered type cloak. They whip out something that resembles a tape measure and start expertly taking measurements and whatnot, and say, oh, because I don't know if you know this, but I don't have, my schedule's pretty clear today, so I think I should be able to have something for you before dinner time. So if you wish to stop back here and, you guys take a gander and, get down like street names and stuff like that. So if you take a gander here right around dinner time, I should have a fine pair of slacks for you.
Sir, we have to ask you this. What is your name?
My name is Cageby.
Okay. Hashtag new favorite NPC.
well,
How do you spell that, just so I get it right?
C-A-I-G as in good, B as in boy, Y.
Also, Kaylee, I was literally just about to say something about that, and then you said,
You know,
I was
Jen
gonna
is
ask
rough
that
into
too.
mind reader, you know.
I'm catching on to you guys.
I guess everyone was.
If any of you talk to anybody for longer than 2 questions, I gotta get a
Think of a
name.
name. Think of a name. Think of a name.
Sure.
Well,
Yeah.
we're
I
there.
don't know what you're
Get a hold
talking
of people.
about.
Hashtag Final Fantasy
Hey,
name.
what's your name?
Hashtag FantasyNameGenerator.com.
Excuse me, other hold people. What are your names? Don't run away.
The fun part is if you had decided ahead of time that was a gnome, you could have come up with like the 10 names. Since he's like this like flourishing like speedster guy.
Yeah.
So like I'm
No. But call me
You realize he was
KGB.
part mind flayer?
Yep. So he says, yes, and thank you. You've given these old bones something to look forward to, which I will admit these days kind of hard to come by. So
And I'm serious about Furon. Just tell your friends, tell anyone that's having a hard time. Get out.
And stop by the Snaggletooth in the bar.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
tell Lockjaw that we sent you.
a Snaggletooth. Oh, that sounds kind of intimidating.
Tell him that the nobody sent you. We told Lockjaw about that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Lockjaw is exactly the opposite of intimidating, so don't worry.
Well then, I will have to gather my coffers and see what I have. And who knows? Maybe this old bones may be able to go on one last adventure.
Going on an adventure.
And you see him, and he also takes measurements of your arms too, Clancy. So he gets like the whole. And then he kind of pockets the tape measure, and you see him kind of shuffle off. He says, "Well, good day, and hopefully I'll see you in a few hours."
All right, thank you very much.
There it is. And you see him shuffle off to a nearby alleyway.
Kira's gonna start heading back in the direction we were going and
Mhm.
look for any guardsmen, official types, other elves.
Sure.
who might have been watching.
So it's not too far of a walk. So you really only come across one major intersection between there and the docks. One that's big and high enough traffic area. And in those bigger intersections, you do see a couple like city worker kind of folk where they're standing in uniforms similarly colored to the garrison, but they're holding like brooms and stuff like that. That's about the most you see outside of like a random pair of guards patrolling now and then. You'll see a group of like
anyone that would have clocked that conversation though.
with your passive perception, not really. The city workers like kind of eyeball it, but they kind of pay you no mind. But none of the guards kind of notice the conversation because the beggars, as you noticed, the beggars waited till any guards were out of sight before they kind of came back out and went about their business. So the city workers, you notice the city workers kind of clock your conversation, but they turn and go back to talking amongst themselves.
City, like the vibe of it, remind me of Arceus at all.
Ooh. What you've seen from how crime is handled, it seems lighter, but like the overall trying to keep aesthetic, they keep things clean, definitely in that same vein.
It is okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
But from what you remember, like beggars and stuff like that, you wouldn't see any because they would have all been in jail. So.
Right.
So you make your way through the streets. I said you don't come across a lot of beggars in this area, and you come to the docks. So this is the largest. This is the largest harbor. It's south of Waynon, essentially. So you have these massive, massive ships. Ooh, that's bugger. Sorry, talking out loud. So you have these massive, like, multi-sailed ships, and lot of noise and clutter going on, a lot of shouting, and you're noticing along the docks, you're seeing a lot more guard activity than when you were watching in the streets, and a lot of guards talking to appear to be captains, stuff like that, checking inventory, stuff like that. But it is a hustle and bustle of activity because around this time of day they're trying to get ships loaded up to get ready for the next morning's trips out and stuff like that. So yeah.
Excellent. Well, we need to go talk to the harbor master, or we just going to the place where it happened?
I feel like I remember someone saying something about the harbor master.
Yeah, I think some of it was looking at the place where it happened.
Yeah, we need to go talk to Harbor Master Vamir about the day of the attacks.
Okay, go do it.
Alright.
Yeah.
So you stop a couple of the guards, and they point you in the direction of this massive office that's kind of in the middle of all of the major walkways. You actually see a small line of people standing out in front of the office. As you make your way over, it's as you guys are kind of getting closer to this line, you're hearing a lot of chatter about thank the gods they finally cleared up. They opened those additional lanes. It felt like it's been forever. It's terrible what happened, but we're businessmen and we have businesses we need to run. So holding the docks hostage like that seems absolutely ridiculous. So it's nice to finally be able to get out of here. And you see out at this line, you see an individual that is dressed very similarly to the city workers. There are a couple additional emblems on their shirt, and you see them with a booklet kind of talking to some of the captains, and you hear, yes, Harbor Master Elsalor has appreciated all of your patience while we were working to do everything we could to secure the docks after the horrific events of the last week. So I am noting all of your concerns and will take them back to him forth haste. My recommendation would be to log your complaints, log your issues, and then prepare your ships for the next day's sail. And you hear kind of general rabble. Yes.
This is an out-of-character question for the DM.
Sure, fire away.
Did you just change the name of the Harbor Master?
No, that's his last name.
Which one?
Vamir is his first name. Elsalor is the last name.
Thank you.
Elsalor.
Whoa.
Elsalor.
Okay.
Elsa Lore.
Elsa
Keeps
Lore.
looking at people and saying, "Let it go."
Can't hold it back anymore.
Let it go.
That one counts, right?
Not against Bill.
Come on, Claire. That one counts.
That wasn't a pun!
Only the DM gets a pun counter.
Bang!
And Bill started that one, so
Ha! I found the
You have to
loophole!
count that one.
I found the loophole, baby!
I missed it. I was writing a note.
Elsa, let it go.
Elsa Lore.
Elsa Lore.
The face.
You know what? That face of judgment is enough.
It is. It's satisfying.
Thank
It's
you.
very satisfying.
Look, Harbor Master Vamir is really into the history of the Frozen movies. So,
No.
he's really big into Elsa lore.
Boo! Come on, Claire.
That counts as like 3.
No,
right?
because I'm just continuing what Bill did.
Mm-mm.
That doesn't make it
No,
right.
that's
Hello,
pushing
you're a
it.
parent.
That
We need a
one
ruling.
was
We need
on
a ruling,
you.
Claire.
Alright,
Take
we
a
need...
vote.
Take a vote!
The chat
I vote!
said stop. The chat said
Fine. Alright.
That is on our side.
I think
All
the
right.
chat gets like 3 votes.
Yeah, alright, fine.
Chat is separate.
That's, I guess that's 1 against me then. Corn flab it.
Jeffrey?
That's right.
Jeffrey?
That's right. So anyway, so after, walking up to this conversation, after a while the captains start kind of grumbling to themselves, but they do eventually disperse. And the person they're speaking to kind of closes the book and kind of goes, "Oh, thank goodness that's over with."
Thank goodness what's over with.
Oh, hello. It has been quite the arduous experience trying to run a harbor while trying to simultaneously keep the city safe and secure, as this is, they kind of gesture around, the largest and most and hardest to secure way to get into the city. But greetings and welcome to the Moor Harbor. My name is Almir Niranan. I am the Associate Harbor Master. And what can I do for you this fine day?
Spell your name.
Almer Nerinan. Almir Niranan.
I still think I got it wrong, so
Yep,
you're in
same.
charge of that
That's
one.
I think I just spelled it out phonetically. It's fine.
Yeah, me too.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. We were hoping to get an audience with the Harbour Master, if possible. We're here with the garrison.
You must be following up from the horrific attacks from last week.
Correct.
Thank you. They did their initial investigation, and that was good, but it's always good to come have another set of eyes look at a situation. Especially since Garrison Commander Theron, he seems like a good man, but, always feels like always do a little bit better in light of what the terrible incidents that happened. So, yes, let me go. If you'd like to follow me into the office here, I will go check to make sure that Harbor Master Elsalor is available. So walk in, opens the door, and you walk into like a waiting room that's like comfortable. There's nice, comfortable, cushy chairs. There's a couple like coffee tables. They have a couple small tomes on them. And various artifacts on the wall, like, buoys from the side of ships, and stuff that looks like figureheads from old ships and stuff like that. So, Almar says, please make yourself at home, and I will go check to see, make sure that Harbor Master Elsalor is available. And kind of wanders off to a room in the back.
He an elf?
Yes.
Oh, these friggin' elves.
Telling you, I've got a bad feeling about this place.
Who run the world? Elves.
Who run more? Elves.
What are the,
is there
the
anything
books on
about the room?
Yeah, the coffee table. What books are on the coffee table? Anything interesting about the room?
So like I said, it's mostly a collection of, it seems like, artifacts from old ships and stuff like that. So you have old life preservers, like a couple broken figureheads, some murals, some paintings of a ship battling against giant seas. You look on the table, and there's a couple tomes, and like I said, there's a couple tomes there. Okay, cool. So what's on the? Oh, it did do that. Corn Flabbit. I wanted you to keep playing that song.
Corn
I was gonna say we're back in my chill shop that we were listening to.
I know, yeah. And
Vibes there better.
I know. And so the tomes on the book are like, one of them is like Legends of the Sea, a history of the world Starhel's most famous ships. And there's another one that's you caught it, now what do you do with it? Recipes for cooking fish and stuff. And then there's another one that's like mythical and mystical creatures of the sea, legends of the deep.
Kira looks at the first one and is like, meh. Kira picks up the second one. Ah, Flynn, this looks like it's up your alley. Looks at the third one. Starts flipping through it.
All right. So reading through this one, it talks about, and you got some of this from reading the myths and legends portion of the History of Starhel book you have, because you were leafing through that when trying to figure out the Night Hag. So you remember a couple of the names that they mention on here, but they talk specifically. One that does catch your eye is the legend of the mythical Kraken. Sorry, I just saw Kaylee's eyebrow. Which describes this giant tentacle sea creature that could take down entire ships on its own, that terrorized the high seas for hundreds of years and then seemed to disappear mysteriously.
Is there anything to munch? Is there like mints or anything?
There's a small. You notice on like one of the side tables there is a small tray of like dried nuts and fruit.
Flynn's going over that.
Right.
Hey, yo! Try this. It's great.
Kira did hand you the cookbook. I don't know if you wanted to leaf through it or not, Flynn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Leaf through it.
That wasn't intentional. That wasn't intentional, Claire. That wasn't intentional. It was great, but it wasn't intentional.
I'm gonna leaf through it.
There you go. So it's pretty much exactly what it is. It's a recipe book to cook various types of fish, sea creatures, stuff like that. Really,
Sea lions.
sea lions.
What about herrings?
Were there?
That's a separate cookbook.
It's a separate cookbook. So you
So
do
you caught it. Cooking
Yeah.
crabs.
Yeah, you caught it. Now what do you do with it? So you come across a recipe for baked clams, which sounds absolutely delightful.
You might have to make this while we're here. And these spices. I don't know what that one is.
So after a while, the Elmir walks back in and says, "Yes, so Harbor Master Elsalor is free and available. So I have to go check on the ships. So if you go and walk down the hallway, it's right there, first door on the right. So now if you'll excuse me, I hope you have a pleasant rest of the day."
I'm gonna walk over to Jen. Maybe it's free and available to talk to, right? That seems awfully quick. I mean, I'm not looking for anything more.
Smack.
As soon as he leaves or turns his back, Kira's gonna slip the book into her bag of holding.
Okay, so you're taking the books. So okay. All right, so you make your way down. You notice, in the waiting room, there are some murals on there. Oddly enough, they're of these ridiculous images and scenes where there's a person fighting what appears to be a giant kraken. Or there's another picture of an individual and they have a shark in a headlock.
Is it the same person?
Yes.
Oh god.
Are they hot?
Are they hot?
I mean, that's up to you to determine. If you want to roll an investigation, do you want to investigate for hotness?
Is it a dragonborn named Ace? No.
Is it my boo thing?
Male or
Is
female?
it my boo?
This one is a male. And surprisingly enough, it appears to be a dwarf.
Is this what's this image of a dwarf fighting a liver?
Oh,
You'll have to ask him about it.
Oh wait, is that the one?
Ask me about my river.
The RBCU, baby. It's the multiverse.
If you wonder what we're talking about, go watch the Osiria campaign episodes over on YouTube.
Yeah. Ooh.
DM'd by Kaylee. So you walk.
Old hag and nasty pies.
So you walk in, and you open the door, and there's this desk. Now, you've seen a lot of big desks. You've seen a lot of fancy desks already in your time, in your travels. The legs for this desk
The legs on that desk.
appear to be made of some kind of large teeth. Teeth. Like large, sharp teeth. Appear to be the legs that are holding this desk up. And the desk appears to be, instead of carved together out of one giant piece of wood, it appears to be fused together out of what appears to be driftwood.
I don't trust this desk.
Is that's funny. Is
Desk is a memory.
the legs on this desk, are they little legs? Are
They're
they
like-
big legs?
They are hefty-sized teeth that are holding this up.
The desk.
Is the desk like dwarf size, human size, elf size, orc size?
It is dwarf size, and sitting behind the
It's
desk.
just normal teeth.
Ha 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 ha. You're hilarious. So as you walk in, there is a dwarf sitting behind in this large padded chair. Large, frazzled beard, hair all a tuft all over the place. And he looks at you. And he says, You must be the people that Almir's wanted to talk to me. So, what be what you want to talk about today?
I want to talk about your
Nudge.
What was that,
we
Sonny?
wanted to talk to you about.
No. What did the short one say?
I want to talk about your beard.
Tony, before we
It's
get
impressive.
too into this, Tony, can you like push your mic away a little bit?
Sure. My beard. Why do you want to talk about my beard?
It's impressive.
Thank you. It took a lot of years to grow this beard.
It looks like it's seen something.
It has seen many things. That's right. Don't you forget that. Now, what can I do for you? I believe you tall one were talking.
Right. So, we're here to talk about the goings on the day of the attacks
Aye.
and what you may have seen that day.
Aye. 'Tis a tragic day that more elves weren't killed.
What?
I
I
like
couldn't
him.
hear you because it split out so bad.
Oh my god. I'm even sitting back. Ugh. I said,
He said that more elves weren't killed.
and then I started laughing
This
hysterically.
is the actual harbor master?
Yes.
Yeah! The name's Vermeer Elsalor.
Oh, how do you get away with that attitude around here?
How do I get away with that attitude? Because I'm the harbor master. I bring in all the money for all of those people sitting in their ivory towers in town. They get their trade through me. So I get to say whatever I want, and if they have an issue to it, well, too bad.
I really like him.
Aye.
Jen, it's the beard.
So,
How,
about that day,
how long have you been Arbor Master?
for as long as I can count. I was here, I've been here, oh my god, it must be 30, 40 years at this point.
I had to walk to the harbor uphill both ways in the snow.
Are you making fun of me accent there, lass? I swear to God, you keep it up. Keep it
I'm
up.
sorry, wait.
How long
I built this harbor for when it was nothing. You'd be lucky to get a paddle boat in here. And now look at it. Look at it.
$1.
I said look at it!
how long has the governor been in power?
She came into power about, let me think now. It's probably about 10 years ago at this point. Kinda came out of nowhere. People had known about her, cause she'd lived here for a while. And she probably rubbed the right elbows and talked to the right folks at the right parties, and before you know it, she's been voted in as governor. She's alright. I mean, she hasn't been the worst governor I've ever ruled under, the worst the worst person that's ruled this area. But she's not the greatest.
Why should you say that?
You know, I'll say accommodations for folks like you and me. By the way, what are you? You don't look like much of a dwarf to me.
Flings.
Halflings? What the hell's a halfling?
I'm the hell is a happening.
Well, that's a very good question that I don't know how to answer. Not
Don't know who you are! That's gotta cause a lot of confusion psychologically and emotionally for you. Do you need someone to talk to about it?
never really thought about it that much.
Or maybe you should, because they could get into a deep philosophical... What's a dwarf? You wanna know what a dwarf is? And you start seeing a vein pop in his forehead.
Oh, you want to know what that's in reference to? Go watch the 8-hour live stream special
Amazing IRL.
over on, that's also, I think, on our YouTube.
Yep. So he says, what's a dwarf? A dwarf is someone who has come from nothing. We came from the rock and the ground and the mountain and the sea, and we crawled ourselves onto this earth and we said, you know what? I'm gonna take what's mine. And that right there is mine, and I'm gonna take it. Now, are you here to talk about the attacks, or are you here to get in a socio-economic, psychological discussion about the origin of each one of our races?
You know, to be
You like
perfectly
the
honest,
the first fish that grew legs and walked on land.
I met him. His name is John. Now, what of it?
I just wanted to get some groundwork, and to be perfectly honest, you were the one asking philosophical questions.
Yeah,
True.
to be honest, we've not been the ones asking anything out of line.
That's neither here nor
We
there.
came here to ask, and you're the one that's avoiding it.
That's neither here nor there.
So I'm assuming all the paintings that are out in the hallway are of him. So did you do all those things?
Oh, absolutely. That shark you're looking at, his teeth have made this desk. Now, the one thing I will admit is maybe a wee bit exaggerated is the Kraken. I hunted that thing, my pappy hunted that thing, could never find it, and now it's disappeared, and I'm mad as hell about that.
You can write tales about you.
One day I hope before I'm put into this ground that they do write tales about me. Aye.
I am a bard.
Well, you and I may have to have a conversation about writing up a bardic epic novella about yours truly. Haha.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm not sure if you said that you've never run into a halfling before. I'm pretty sure we can drink you just about anybody at the table. You should know.
And we could eat you under the table too.
That sounds dirty.
No, it does. Oh my god!
Now, lass, I appreciate you making a pass at me, but I'll let you know that I am a businessman first. And when I'm in my office, I keep business before pleasure. So you understand?
Well, he did
Now,
say-
we meet up at the tavern later, then maybe you and I can have a bit of a tussle.
Reeling it back.
Your forehead is really red, Kaylee, just to let you know.
Jen's putting her foot in her mouth, notwithstanding. We are here to ask some questions about the attack.
Aye. No, in all seriousness, I'll admit that I wasn't there when the attack happened. I was off doing harbor master duties on the day of the festival, which was drinking my coworkers under the table.
Right?
Now, we did eventually get wind that from the guards running in the streets like crazed men that Garrison Commander Theron had been attacked. So then we ran over, and sure enough, he was laying there wounded, and his men were all standing there looking like complete jackasses. So I instructed some of my crewmates, my harbor staff, to dive in and see what they could find out. They dove into the water, swim around as much as they could, but alas, they couldn't find anything. Now, I will say, because I've been asked this by Garrison Commander Theron, as well as some of his sergeants with following up. There's only really two theories in my mind that could have happened to those individuals that attacked him and dove into the water. Either one, they somehow magically teleported somewhere when they were in the water, which I'm not much of a magic user, so I can't say whether that's possible or not. Number two, they had some kind of magical apparatus or maybe a potion of water breathing that enabled them to swim to some boat that was docked outside of the harbor. Because the men that work at the harbor, they're hardy lads and lasses, and folk that don't identify either way. But, it'd take quite a healthy set of lungs to swim out beyond where we patrol and where the walls of the city are. That's my theory. I can't prove either one. That's one of my two theories.
Could it also be theory number 3 that
There is no theory number 3. There is only 2.
you all were drinking on the job? You weren't there when the attacks actually happened, so why do you get to make theories at all?
Because it was my day off, lass. And I'm the harbor master, so I can do whatever I want. Who are you?
I'm Morag Drummond.
Who?
There's the drum.
I'm going to turn my arm into a lightning whip.
Are you gonna really zap Bill? For real zap?
No, not
Oh.
him.
Oh.
The harbor master. Pipsqueak.
Oh. So you turn your arm into a lightning whip.
That's offensive.
He slides his chair back, stands up, which, only doesn't put him much higher than the desk. Say, last time I got into a fight with a lady, she ended up trying to marry me, so I'd be careful if I were you.
Yeah, but I'm already spoken for.
So we're just, so what, am I just gonna be a side piece for you?
Oh no, you'll be nothing to me. There'll be nothing left.
Alright.
You sound just like my ex-wife, I love it.
I can see why she's your ex.
Alright. That hurts. I hope you know that. That hurts. So what is
Good.
theory number 3 then?
He made the desk out of her.
She's stuck in the desk. Theory number 3 is that you're trying to cover for yourself and your men for not being on the scene.
He stares really daggers into you right now. Listen.
Oh, that's
I don't...
Okay.
Thank you. I don't know where you get the gumption to accuse me of something like that. What I will say is that this was a circumstance that was beyond anyone's control, and anything, accusatory or otherwise, will have to be followed up by a very serious conversation with my fist.
Can I insight check to see if this is just like you hurt my pride, or if he's being dodgy?
Sure, go ahead.
That is a. Give me my number.
6. I don't know.
I had it. Roll up. Go to my number. Okay, 15.
15. You get the feeling that a nerve was struck. A bit of a pride thing. Maybe a little bit of like, I do a good job all the time, and then the one time I maybe don't do the best job, I get called out for it kind of thing. Something like that.
Okay.
What you get for being good at your job, Becky. Alright, then let me ask you this. Which of your men were on duty at the time? Down at the docks when everything happened?
Well, you see him kind of compose himself for a minute. Take a couple seconds here to compose himself. Well, we we kept a five person skeleton crew, kind of making sure boats weren't getting damaged, no checking for stowaways or anybody trying to sabotage the boats or anything like that. But they mostly stayed in the office. Two of them were kind of scheduled to walk up and down the harbor, every couple hours. But they were questioned and by myself first off, and then questioned by Commander Theron and his sergeants. But they didn't seem to notice anything out of the ordinary until alarm bells started ringing and people started running around yelling like crazy.
People just appeared out of nowhere.
Well, if you ask Commander Theron and the soldiers patrolling with him, they seem to just leap out of the water miraculously. I'll say, anybody that's got decent upper body strength can hang off to the side of the dock unnoticed and then kind of springboard themselves up. So I wouldn't say they magically appeared out of nowhere, but of course I wasn't there, and, elves, sometimes they embellish things to make themselves, who knows, it could have been just somebody that walked up to them and said, "Hi, pointy ears, I'm going to stab you now," and then they'd make something up to hide their pride.
I do have a bit of an odd question. And I don't know that you've been asked this because I don't know how much it pertains to everything really. Did anyone say that they were wet when they popped out of nowhere?
That's a great question. We always assume that you jump out of the water, you're gonna be wet. So I don't think anybody bothered to ask.
Well, if there's a portal, like your theory number one,
well,
it could possibly be that.
Go ahead. My apologies, ma'am.
It could possibly be that there was some sort of portal within the dock or just below it that they actually sprung out from and went back through.
I mean, I'm not much of a magic user, so I can't speak to all of that, how all that could work. My theory was there was a portal in the water, so when they dove into the water, the portal was there and they just poofed out. But I'm a sailor at heart, not much of a magic caster person.
Do you know who we could ask, or who would remember if they were wet? Because I think that would actually confirm pretty hard if it was a portal or not.
That's fair. Well, I'd honestly say going to talk to Commander Theron. He'd be able to, tell you, because he was there and he got run through. He'd be able to confirm, I believe he was patrolling with like 4 or 5 guards. You ask any one of them, they'd probably be able to confirm. I mean, I will say that when my men and I reached the scene where they were, there appeared to be some wet spots, but we work at a dock. Who knows where those wet spots could have come from?
Second theory?
Second theory was they had, and this is the one that I lay the most credence on. I believe they had either some kind of magic item that helped them breathe underwater, or they had taken some potions of water breathing which helped them swim across long distances without needing to come up for air. Because regrettably, it took me and my men some time to reach where they were, so it's very easily that they could have swam off and met up a ship that was docked offshore outside of the harbor. Because that happens all the time, especially with folks doing illegal smuggling of goods or anything like that.
And services.
And people. I'm just kidding. He didn't say that. So that's where my theory comes in, because regrettably, at the time, we didn't have any potions of water breathing in the office because I never deemed it a necessity, but now I've submitted it as part of our budget for next quarter. So if something like this were to happen again, we would have the additional resource ready. That's my theory.
And
Then I suppose we need to go back to Ethereum.
You could do that.
I do have a follow-up question. We found out from Ethereum that the boat access to the Ava had been limited during the festival. Like, how long before the festival do you start that?
We usually limit it the day before. Just to make sure we don't have a large influx of boats coming in the day before when city resources are being utilized other places, because the folks here, they tend to be kind of good at a little bit of everything, so they're always, some city planners always saying, hey, can I borrow 5 of your crew to go help build this building or fix this road or something like that. So we try to limit harbor accessibility the day before, and usually it lasts until the day after for a similar reason. But regrettably, because of what happened, and those miscreant captains have been bothering me this whole week about trying to get the harbor reopened up because it was shut down except for garrison ships in and out only, which there weren't any. And now we've finally been able to open it back up as of this morning, so.
And these captains, these of the ships that have been in Arbor, did you search their ships? Are they all known to you, known merchants or whatever?
Absolutely. We search every ship, especially after it happened. Not only my crew, but we had garrison troops come in and search the ships as well. Nothing came, couldn't find anything there, which once again lays to my theory about the ships offshore. In terms of captains or ships that had been new, we have a pretty steady stream of the same ships coming in and out. We get an outlier every once in a while, but, most folks know that harbor access gets limited around the days of big holidays, so it was, there wasn't anybody new that had tried to come in, so, as far as I know. You could go talk to, Almer and see if he could check the books for you to make sure, but my recollection was that there wasn't anybody that wasn't familiar.
Roll an insight check.
Sure. Go for it.
See his confidence in that statement.
Sure.
14.
He seems pretty confident in it. I mean, he's a little bit shaken by Moray questioning his, capabilities before, so he's a little bit rattled, like very slightly, but, he seems to be giving off the bravado of, wait, I'm back in control now, so I know what I'm talking about.
Alright. I got another question for you. This one's very, very important.
What's that?
Where's the best place to drink from?
Always leave it to the bard to ask the important questions. Well, I don't want to give away all my secrets, but I will say that there is this nice place that we like to go to. It's not my favorite place, mind you, but it's a good place that'll take good care of you and won't burn a hole into your pocket too much. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. There's a place up the road here. It's on the other side of the it's around the corner here from this office building. We call it the Healthy Whale.
Healthy whale.
The Healthy Whale, because you gotta be healthy and you gotta be able to drink like a whale to survive there. That's the joke we like to make, but it's where most of the captains and their crew tend to grab a drink while they're, waiting to get checked in. Like I said, that's where most of my crew, they tend to stop by on their way when they're done with work for the day. I'll stop in every once in a while, but I got my own place that I like to keep to myself, because it's my little escape here, my little escape, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Sure thing. It sounds like a place that sells avocado on toast and a lot of kale.
That sounds incredibly healthy, and I might consider trying that. Now,
All right.
do you have any other questions for me, or do we need to go back to tussling?
I just have one more that's a little long.
And he's like eyeballing you, Morag.
How long has Commander Theron been commander?
He came in a little bit before the governor did. Not sure where that connection came from. I mean, it's something that, who knows? I mean, garrison commanders tend to rise up through the ranks and then get appointed by the governor at the time. So it may have been a, deal that the last governor made before the new governor took over. I don't know. That's politics stuff, and I'm not big into politics.
Yeah, but people who are not that big into politics are usually the most honest about it, I've found.
I'll say it's a bit suspicious that they both came in at right around the same time, and then that's when a lot of vibes seem to change about the city. Like I said, I can't.
Before.
This was a bit of a rough and tumble town. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you have a city this large that's basically funded by two things: the harbor and the weapons bazaar. The weapons marketplace. There's gonna be some stuff that goes down. So can I say that all of that they've done is bad? No, of course not. Because it makes you... Nowadays, you feel safe walking home. Whereas before, you never knew who was going to jump out of the random side alley. Gotta admit, though, I miss a little bit of the adventure.
I can see that. It's like it went too far to the other extreme.
Yeah, well... What are you gonna do?
Personally.
It's probably what they ran their campaign on. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll clean up this city and make it safe. No, you'll take the fun out of it, is what you'll do.
Well, I think that's all I had for questions, if anybody else.
I do have another question for you. As far as, I'm sure you've noticed, there's kind of an issue with anybody here that's not an elf. Have you run into any problems with that?
No one gives me grief about nothing. But what I will say is, I've noticed some of my crew get treated a little bit differently talked to a little bit differently by some of the garrison troops. I mean, do they outright completely disrespect them? I wouldn't say that, but let's just say conversations between the crew, my elven crew, and my non-elven crew, sound like they go very differently about a lot of things.
Okay.
Years too?
You cut out. What was that?
Is that changed in the last 10 years too?
It did start. It was happening a little bit before they took over, but it definitely seemed to be noticeable once they came in charge.
Okay. Well, that's sure interesting.
Well,
Thank you for your
yeah, well. Hey, I make the joke about the elves and all that, but I will say that these rat bastards came into my harbor. That don't stand with me. That don't stand with me at all.
That.
This is mine. Anyway. Oh, if there's anything else I can help you find folks with... I didn't even catch any of your names. I'm sorry. Oh, except Morag Drummond here. I'll never forget that one, lass.
And you.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'm Kira.
Kira. What about you, Bard?
I'm Flynn Leafwalker. And these are my Leafwalkers.
You're in a band with him?
No, we're
Shake
not.
my tambourine.
No.
Occasionally.
Occasionally.
They're all pretty
Never.
good at
I'm
it.
the manager.
They're just very modest.
You strike me as the manager type. No nonsense, straight to the point.
Thank you.
Not afraid to tussle when you need to.
Not at all.
Alright, well,
Well, listen. I think now all that we need to do is go back to Theron, I suppose. Thank you for your help. We will probably be seeing you around.
I hope so. And listen, if you get any information about how those bastards did this, I'm gonna want to know, because I am gonna have to get some shit done around here to make sure that it does not happen again.
Absolutely.
And if you hear anything else, anything that might help us, you can leave word at the garrison.
Alright, I can do that. Well, thank you. And good luck in your investigation, I suppose.
Oh my god, excuse me. That's been brewing for like an hour.
Nice. Glad you got it out. Alright, so you guys make your way out. You walk back out into the harbor, and at this point, I feel like this would be a good stop to take a break.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! So, go grab a drink, grab something to eat, go potty.
I didn't buy chips. Damn it.
Oh no! And we'll be back in a little bit.
Okay.
That's good. Because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is
thing
right.
usually.
Yes,
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
right.
You
So
do also call everyone
Would you
your friend.
consider us friends?
I do. I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
Alright.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
You got a tongue in the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
so.
He is indeed a natural.
natural
He
Jeff.
is a natural, Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
He is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah.
Grass-fed.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right, we were tying
onto-
up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't just leave them in the woods. Yeah.
You're dragging bodies down the road on your car.
We're not dragging them down the road. They're on like
we made
a little
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a sled. Like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just gonna leave them in the woods. Come on.
I'm not
Jeffrey, that's the dogs. That's the dog.
Well, thank you for telling me, Ta-ta!
Did you hear that, my
He can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is. The Jeffrey.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. Gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold.
Was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's
run.
basically 50 elven children going all over the place. So, but with axes, because it's axe training day.
That's it.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind of
Good to
like.
see it.
Yep. He, kind of ruffles his
he's
shirt and
wearing
pulls it out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
Chimney! There you go.
Really? Really?
I'm kidding.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes. Go start.
Now this, goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling. Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah, that must be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. Used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin.
You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream, we're gonna be like,
Jeffrey!
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Both. It's a mix of both.
Looking, found something you have.
You're also blowing out on the mic.
yeah,
A little
that's
bit.
very true.
Be here all night.
Oh.
And by all night, I mean for another hour.
Looks like that.
I can't see that.
Right there.
Oh, okay. I would like you to.
There's a picture in the Discord.
Yeah.
Fine. We don't have to do it then.
She's a very plain widow.
No. And like the metal of the armor is just gonna kind of like ripple up my arm and just show like the nub, and then it will come back.
Yeah, what if Xing Xing did it?
Like very Terminator style.
Look at my nub.
Dun 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 dun.
That needs to be clipped.
Ask me about my nub.
Ask
me about my nub. Yes, exactly.
Take my strong hand.
There's like a vein popping out in your forehead, turning red.
This is my happy vein.
Happy vein. I got closer than last time. She looks at you and she goes, impressive.
So happy.
That's the exact same thing he said to you in the dream.
Go on.
That's it.
Fuck.
Is that in character?
I am not Matt Mercer. Hi, I'm off-brand Matt Mercer. Great value, if you will.
Great value,
Mert Master.
Mert Masser. Oh shit! No, I'm just Devin. It's fine.
Bye.
Oh my God.
3 halflings in a trench coat.
Yeah. Yes. There it is.
Oh my God.
We are doing that at some point because there are 3 of us.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
There you
Needs
go.
to be done. And I have a trench coat.
All right, but
We like clips.
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 Clips are very important.
You should definitely make clips of today. If you don't, I will find you. And I will TPKO you.
That's good. Well, because I was worried because your friends seemed to get mad at you.
Friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me. And I count that as a good thing.
That is
Thing
right.
usually.
Yes.
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
Right.
You
So
do
would-
also call everyone
Would you
your friend.
consider us friends?
I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
all right.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
You gotta tug at the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
So,
He is indeed a natural.
Natural
He
Jeff.
is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
he is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah.
Grass-fed.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were tying
onto-
up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
didn't just leave them in the woods. Yeah.
You're dragging bodies down the road on your car?
We're not
We
dragging them
made
down the road. They're on like
we made a
little
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A sled. Like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just gonna leave them in the woods. Come on.
I'm not
Jeffrey, that's the dogs. That's the dog.
Well,
Did you hear it in your mind? Did you hear that in my
He
mind?
can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is. The Jeffrey.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. Gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold.
Was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's basically 50 elven children going all over the place. So, but with axes. Because it's axe training day.
That's it.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind of
Good to
like.
see it.
Yep. He, kind of ruffles
Oh,
his
he's
shirt and
wearing
pulls it out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
Chimney! There you go.
Really? Really?
I'm kidding.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes. Go start.
Now this goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling. Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah, that must be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. Used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin.
You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream, we're gonna be like,
Jeffrey!
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Both. It's a mix of both.
Looking, found something you have.
You're also blowing out on the mic.
Yeah,
little
that's
bit.
very true.
Be here all night.
Oh.
And by all night, I mean
God.
for another hour.
Looks like that.
I can't see that.
Right there.
Oh, okay. I would like you to.
There's a picture in the Discord.
Yeah.
Fine. We don't have to do it then.
She's a very plain widow.
No. And like the metal of the armor is just gonna kind of like ripple up my arm and just show like the nub, and then it will come back.
Yeah, what if Xing Xing did it?
Like very Terminator style.
Look at my nub!
Dun 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 dun.
That needs to be clipped.
Ask me about my nub.
Ask me about my nub.
Yes, exactly.
Take my strong hand.
There's like a vein popping out in your forehead and turning red.
This is my happy vein.
Happy vein. Closer than last time. She looks at you and she goes, impressive. So happy.
That's the exact same thing he said to you in the dream.
Go on.
That's it.
Fuck.
I am not Matt Mercer. Hi, I'm off-brand Matt Mercer. Great value, if you will.
Great value,
Mert Masser.
Mert Masser. Oh shit! No, I'm just Devin. It's fine.
Bye.
Oh my God.
3 halflings in a trench coat.
Yeah. Yes. There it is.
Oh my God.
We are doing
Okay.
that at some point because there are 3 of us.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
There you
Needs
go.
to be done. And I have a
Alright.
trench coat.
Alright. But I'm.
We like clips.
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 Clips are very important.
You should definitely make clips of today. If you don't, I will find you, and I will TPKO you.
That's good. Well, because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is
Thing
right.
usually.
Yes,
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
right.
You
So
do
would-
also call everyone
Would you
your friend.
consider us
I do.
friends?
I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
Alright.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
It's a tug. You got a tug in the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
so.
He is indeed a natural.
Natural
He
Jeff.
is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
He is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah.
Grass-fed.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were tying
onto-
up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't just leave them in the woods.
Hey! Hi, folks. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your... I hope you got something to eat. I hope you got something to drink. I hope you went potty. Because a healthy bladder is important.
I gotta go potty.
Didn't do any of those things.
That is a problem.
I have a teacher's bladder.
Good for you.
Pee.
Uh,
I just
anyway.
recycle it.
Anyway.
That thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of needing to change the conversation, please,
Cat,
for the love of everything that is holy,
you should check out our TikTok. We have like 1,000 followers.
we're getting there.
Almost.
We're getting there. I know.
Yeah, like 80 something, I think.
Nice.
83 earlier today.
All right, killer. We appreciate you so much. All right, so we left off you guys walking out of Harbor Master Elsalor's office. As you guys are walking out, there is an individual that's kind of leaning up against the side of the building. They have the garb similar to like the city workers, except I don't want to say it's not as clean. So you get the feeling it's maybe one of the dock workers. And he's sitting there. He kind of eyeballs you. He says, heard through the grapevine you guys were looking into what happened.
Yeah. And?
You didn't hear it from me. But I'd say there was a lot of activity going through the spiked javelin. And it wasn't just, let's go buy a bunch of swords, shields, and arrows. It was, we're looking for folks to do something big.
Kira's gonna ask in Thieves' Cant descriptions.
He looks at you and goes, "Why are you asking me about eggplants?"
She's gonna nod to herself and just say, "Do you have descriptions or more specifics we can follow up on? Of course, not coming from you."
Appreciate it. Well, saw a few folks with face tattoos. Some folks wearing robes that for some weird reason didn't quite go down to their feet.
Yeah.
Some
Clancy, if it's not coming from him, where's it coming from?
and some folks that definitely struck me the type of used to be military. They gave that air.
Military.
They gave that air, that we're better than you and you know it kind of thing.
I'm sorry. Are you naming 3 different types of folks, or they all gave off all of those, like most of off some combination of those qualities?
Mostly some combination. They tended to all... Most of them wore that weird robe thing, but some of them had face tattoos. Some of them clearly gave the vibe off of former military.
I'm gonna look at Kira in her head. So maybe not just Thieves Guild.
Kira's gonna nod towards her and say, yeah, seems a bit mix and match. Were they talking to anybody in particular or hanging around a particular business in the spiked javelin?
Thinks for a minute.
Also, any particular races or other physical descriptors other than the face tattoos and the weird robe?
As far as I remember, most of them were human. Just trying to think. There was a couple, it looked like they were kind of going around from shop to shop. Also just kind of hanging out, talking to anybody that looked half tough.
Like recruiting?
What it seemed like to me. I didn't go talk to him. I'm not
That sounds
This job pays for crap, but it's not enough for me to go and get mixed in with a crowd that looked that suspicious and gave off that weird of a vibe.
DM question. We didn't
Fire one.
hear anything like this happening around Faerun. I mean, wow. Urod, did we?
No. As far as you know. Take with that what you will. Part of the reason why I figured nobody's mentioned it is because that puts a damper onto one of the money makers of the city, so probably won't hear that from a lot of official channels.
What makes you speak up then?
Well, when you hear about what happened, you hear a lot of conversations that happen after something like that. I lived in this city before the new regime took over, so I could see firsthand what putting more control on stuff will do. There's a lot that's not great about this city. And I don't want to see that happen to anywhere else.
All right.
So do with that what you will. Hopefully it doesn't get you into a heap of trouble.
We're good at getting in trouble. And she holds out her hand to shake. And she's gonna slip him a gold piece.
Pockets it. Take care now.
And
Turns around and walks off.
I am not gonna lie. I definitely thought you were going to reach into the bag of holding and grab Deviant's hand. Like his severed hand. And just be like, we're really good at getting into trouble. Like a put her there kind of moment. And it's just this Goliath's hand.
Jesus Christ!
Style. Nah,
Went
Kira's
through my
style
brain.
is paying for
My brain went to slapping him.
worthwhile.
Yours is a whole nother level.
Yeah. Escalated. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Escalation.
Sorry.
Should have done that with the dwarf. Just all of a sudden, let me see that bag for a minute.
Wait,
Yeah.
did the hand go back into the bag of holding? I thought we ditched it.
I don't know. Morag, what did you do with it?
I don't think we ever did anything with it.
Oh god, it's still in the
Or
bag
did
of
we
holding.
turn it in?
No, I thought we
Did
turned
we
it in because we found it. Kira found that you had slipped it in there when we were handing stuff over to Icewind.
Oh yeah. But did we
Oh.
give it to them or did we?
You showed it to
I
him.
certainly didn't put it back in there.
Well, I put it in the first time. How do you know I didn't get it the second time?
I don't, to be honest. It's not in
Neither
my
do
list,
I.
But
Might want to check to see if there's a, like, very rigor mortis severed
Very
Goliath hand. Very rotten.
oh, this is
bag
out of
of
character.
outfit.
Kira is blissfully ignorant. It's just in there, so.
I love that.
What's that smell coming from the bag?
Oh my god, we have a bag of holding like that, and like we randomly find like severed limbs and stuff in it.
Ooh, that smell.
What was that? That reminds me, Tony. What was the name of that book? The like myths and legends book that Kira swiped.
Oh, myths and mystical creatures of the sea. Legends from the deep.
Mystical creatures of the sea. Okay. Book. Add item to bag of holding. Okay, there we go. So, given that information, do we want to head back to the garrison, or do we want to go check out the spiked javelin? I can't speak.
She's so disappointed he didn't speak thieves' camp.
What time
I am
is it
a
right
little
now?
bit sad.
We're looking at like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I'd say we should go to the Spike Javelin and probably go see what we can find out there, and then maybe get some food out there.
Yeah, it is almost time for afternoon tea.
But that sounds like the best lead we've gotten so far. In addition to the longer we wait, the more cold it's going to get.
Yeah.
All right.
Javelin it is.
Away!
All right, so you guys make your way through the streets. Now, the spiked javelin is a large enough landmark that you're just following street signs and stuff like that. Not coming across anything particular or out of the ordinary as you're making your way through.
No one following us, no one watching us.
Not that no one noticing that, especially with Flynn's 20 passive perception.
All on high alert.
So yeah, not. I mean, you get the garrison troops that'll walk by and kind of eyeball you for a second and then make their way, but it's nothing more than that. Nobody tailing you or anything like that. You do notice as you do get a little closer to the 2, where it is, you start seeing smaller type signs for the sacred javelin, as well as the spiked javelin. So, as you're making your way through the streets, you walk by, you get to this large open area that's kind of in between 2 city blocks. And what you see is a bunch of smaller, like, you've noticed at this point that all the buildings have been kind of like crammed next to each other. This seems like the only area that has buildings that seem to be spread out a little bit. And when you look at various buildings, you notice they all tend to have some symbol of one of the gods. You do, and as you're scanning, you do notice one of the building has the emblem of the heart on one half and the skull on the other.
Which is the... What's her face?
Ilhenna, the goddess Ilhenna,
Yeah.
goddess of life and death. And this is
like temples, or are they like shrines?
Call them small temples. So they're a little bit larger than a shrine. Most of them are around that size. And there's about 7 or 8 of them that you're counting. And you see when you walk by, because you have to walk by this area in order to get to the spiked javelin marketplace. You do see some people out. You see one person kind of standing on like a raised platform, looking like giving some kind of sermon to a crowd of people around them.
I'm getting Skyrim vibes.
Can we hear them?
Yeah. If you guys want to walk close enough to get a to kind of listen in, because you have to walk kind of close to the crowd because they're not like belting out loudly, because there's a crowd, but it's not like hundreds of people. There's maybe like 20 or 30 people there, so so if you guys want to walk closer, you can kind of walk and kind of hang out in the back, kind of away from the crowd, unless you want to get like right in and try to get up front.
Here and hang in the back.
Yeah.
Is everyone cool hanging in the back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just kind of
All right. All right.
Totally picture the guy be like, Talos, we'll save him.
Not quite that. Not quite that. But it's more. So the person that's up on the pedestal is a dragonborn, and she is standing there, and she is talking about. She's saying things like, the most important thing that people can talk about and that people can have, the thing that can empower you to get out of bad situations, the power to topple corrupt governments is knowledge. Knowledge is something that we all seek to improve ourselves and to improve our situation. We lift up our brothers and sisters, and we use knowledge to do that. Without knowledge, we wouldn't be any better than the beasts of burden out tilling the fields. So it is to this that we pray to Ayun, the goddess of knowledge. May she grant us the strength to find the knowledge we need to improve our lives. And they kind of, you hear a little bit of back and forth with stuff like that. And as you're looking around, so as you're looking around, most of the buildings, the doors are open. And just to let you know, for frame of reference, it's about, let's say you left the harbor around 4 o'clock, around 2 o'clock, so it's like 4 o'clock now. It took you a couple hours to walk across town, because it's a big town, big city. And so some of the doors to all the other, not shrine, not cathedral, temple. There we go. Yeah, to all the other temples are still open. But since it is still springtime, you do notice that some of the people are out, like, lighting torches by the door to kind of keep the doors lit, in preparation for, night coming a little bit sooner rather than later. So,
Clock it and keep walking.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, so you guys make your way past this, and what you come across next is a very large area. In the middle of this area, so you kind of walk in between two buildings, and there's, you hear, like, thunderous. It's like almost deafening, the amount of hammers hitting anvils, swords clashing, people talking loudly and yelling. And you walk in, and in this big courtyard with 14, 15, 16 shops around this massive courtyard. There is a fenced-in area where you're currently seeing two people battling with swords. And then there's another area that has some hay bales that are set up that have arrows sticking out of them. Morag, you even hear occasionally a kaboom, like a gunfire. And like, this is all stuff you've kind of been around Morag. This kind of feels like home to you. Like the sounds, the atmosphere, this is like your vibe.
Do I see any sort of, like, Inventors Guild representation? Do I notice familiar faces with guns?
That's a very intimidating question. So you scan around and you do see almost all these buildings are typical blacksmiths, weapon shops, things like that. You do notice one building on the far end of the courtyard from where you are that has a storefront that has like the equivalent of like metal smokestacks coming out of it and stuff that looks very much like a Inventors Guild shop. Scanning the entire courtyard itself, you're not really seeing anybody that looks familiar to you, but like you see that shop across the way and you're like, that looks like
a piece of candy.
That looks like a piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Shout
out James Woods.
Immediately beeline.
Okay. What's everybody else doing?
Following Morag, keeping an eye out for any of these suspicious characters, like what the guy described.
Sure. What's everybody else doing? Clancy, Flynn, Jen, what do you got? What are we doing?
I'm keeping an eye out. Mostly is because I'm just kind of like not quite sure.
I mean, she's already moving, so she must have a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess I'm following.
Yeah. All right. So you all you make your way across. Jen, when you're walking through, you notice what's happening in the middle. You're clearly getting vibes from when you guys first met, in terms of like it being a battle, but not sure if it's like they're actually fighting or if they're like testing weapons or something like that. And you're all kind of clocking that too as you're walking by the center ring. But yeah, you make your way across. What's up?
Does it seem like it's legal?
I mean, that's a great question. So you see there are a couple guards watching. They don't seem to be stopping it, but they are definitely like at attention with it.
Okay, then I'm not going to join.
All right. Fair enough.
I fight too.
Yep. All right. So so all of you make your way across. All y'all make your way across.
All y'all.
All y'all. Make your way. More so than normal, or the same amount?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you make your way across, and as you get closer to this particular storefront, so you get to like there's a wooden sign hanging over the door, and it looks like think of the ghost from Pac-Man. That's kind of what the picture is on the sign.
Okay.
And inside you're hearing a lot of clang, clang, boom, ah! Clang, clang, boom, ah! Ah! Clang, clang, ha ha, boom, ah! A lot of that.
It's just cutting you off, so I can't hear it. But it sounds amazing.
Clang, clang, boom, ah, boom, clang, clang, boom, ah, clang, clang, hooray, boom, ah. One of these days.
I'm gonna open the door.
Alright, so inside, you see this disheveled shop. You've got pieces of armor over here. You've got a bag spilling out some black powder over there. You've got disassembled pieces of a gun over there. An axe sticking into the wood of a wall. And in the back, you see a gnome covered head to foot in soot. Kind of standing there. He's standing on a regular sized stool. And he's got his hands on he's got one hand on his hip and the other hand is like scratching the back of his head.
Hello.
Ah! He turns around, and what you see is, you know, one of those jeweler's eyes that jewelers use? It's one of those, except it's embedded into his head. Like, where his eye is one of those jeweler's eyes. And he turns around, and he says, "Yes, can I help you?"
Well, first off, I like your innovation.
And he takes his eye and it like, and it focuses out.
Yes. I was wondering if you had any gunpowder for sale.
Gunpowder. I think I had a bag over here somewhere. Hold on. Hops down, kind of walks over.
Yoda.
Looking! Found some you have, and he walks over, he's like, yes, yeah. And he takes the bag that you walked by and kind of like shovels some of it back in and zips the bag up. Looks at it and goes, "Here you go. This should probably... I don't know what you're going to do with it. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to make bullets? Are you going to make a bomb? What are you going to do with it? Are you going to make a cart that can drive itself? You know, I've been working on blueprints for something like that. I just need to get the exhaust system in properly. You know what I mean? It's just like I could get the... I could get...
for an arm.
He freezes and he's like, "You what?"
I have a gun for an arm. And then I take off my glove and I morph.
He screams loudly, "That's the greatest thing I've ever seen!"
Thank you. It does malfunction from time to time. It also does lightning whips and tiny zaps when he's being really annoying. But you know, I'm starting to refocus it a little bit. But I've got to work on a few kinks.
Wow! That's amazing! That's it. It is so refreshing to finally meet someone that is competent around here when it comes to effective weaponry and firearm care. Because I tell you, all those out there, Neanderthals out there with their daggers and their punching and their swords, and just Neanderthals out there. You and I, we're on the cutting edge of innovation. And I love it.
You know.
It's also nice to meet a fellow guild member.
I've actually done some innovations on some of their plain weapons to make them a bit better.
Well, good for you. It's good to pull people out of the Stone Age. It's really kind of you.
Wait, when do we get innovations?
Point is just gonna pull out her dagger and throw it across the room into the wall, and then retract it back to her hand, or I don't know, however that works.
Oh
yeah. You have a word for yourself that you say, and it brings it back.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna hold up my rapier.
Oh wait, did you? Ouch.
Maybe later.
Well. The rest of you can look at my wares if you want, and it's nice to see that you added the retraction upgrade to that dagger. That's very impressive of you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
You said guild member, correct?
Yes, I'm a member of the Inventors Guild, and I assumed you were because of the metal arm.
Yes. My name is Morag Drummond, and you?
I'm Schnoobar Rockswall.
Rockwall.
God damn it! Damn it!
Did you say Rockswall?
He's one of the Rockwalls. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, folks, that's all the time we have for tonight. So thank you for stopping by.
I heard rock wall or rock.
I said Rockwall.
Well, it would kind of work with the jeweler's eye.
No.
DM, I will give you another go around. I have not written that name down yet.
Okay. Well, I'm still gonna rock with Snoobrar.
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 It sounds like Simlish.
Snoop Dogg?
Snooblar
S
Dolphin.
SNUBBRAR.
BBRAR. Snoobrar. I like that actually.
Yeah.
Calling him Snoop Dogg.
And he says, "The name's Snoobrar. It's a pleasure to meet you." He sticks his hand out. Yes, been a card-carrying member for about a year now.
Only a year? And you've done this much?
Well, you know, it's a whole thing with my family. My family thought I damnly thought I was weird, that I wasn't getting into the, let's go farm, and I wanted to go do my own thing, and, so I had to make up for lost time,
Understandable. I've gotten into a bit of a weird way, but that's a very long story. So what brought you to Moore?
Well, outside of Arceus, if you wanted to sell weaponry, and weaponry of the sort, this is the place to do it.
You're not wrong.
As if you noticed, that's the largest collection of blacksmiths any place that I know of.
True. Do you happen to know if any guild members were here when the attacks happened? Aside from yourself, of course.
Thinks for a minute. No! It was just me. I heard... Oh, my Lanta. Woo! I think I got all the burps out now. We're good. A wee bit. He says, well, I heard that some of the attacks that happened at some of the other cities were with the moving constructs that some of our brothers and sisters up north were creating. None of them were here for that, though, because I'm pretty sure that wasn't a part of the planned festivities around here, no. So just me. Occasional passerby stops in, looking for a little bit of gunpowder here, a little bit of blasting powder there, a little bit of powdered silver and iron, knick-knack stuff, But
right.
Usually just popped in and out.
So no one out of the ordinary came into the shop around that time, or?
Yeah, thinks for a minute, and he's like, well, now that you mention it, a few weeks ago, there were some mighty tough-looking folks that came in here, and they were trying to, they were asking me weird questions about, like, did I want to join a great opportunity to, make a lot of money and make a lot of big changes. I asked them to deconstruct and reconstruct this, this engine I had created for my, mechanized cart that I've been working on, and when they said they couldn't do it, I kicked them out, because obviously they weren't smart enough to take on the likes of me.
I applaud you for that.
They look like, big, beefy, most of them human, but big, beefy guys. I think one or two of them had a face tattoo, and they were wearing the weirdest thing. It was like this robe, but it didn't go all the way down to their legs. It's a weird fashion sense,
So, but this was before the attacks.
Oh yeah, this was, memory serves you correct, it was a few weeks before the attacks happened. I don't know, maybe they got the word and nobody stopped in. Maybe you could ask some of the other shops, see what they found out, but, as far as me, they came in the one time, they stopped, and that was it.
While she's talking to him, I'm going to be going over and checking out some of the inventions on the shelf.
Sure. There's obviously a lot of like standardized weapons. You got, you got some daggers, you got some swords, you got some armor. Hold on. Hi.
Guess what?
I see.
I'm like, oh.
I got signatures from police officers.
Okay, cool. All right. I'll go look at it in a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Wait, can you leave it here so you can
Yes.
show your work friends?
I will.
Show them right now.
I'll leave it right here. Okay.
Okay, show them right now, Daddy.
Go.
Show us.
Show us right now.
Show your work friends, Tony.
Show your work friends
All right.
now.
So apparently, she got some signatures from because she went with my wife, or she went to the to a work event, and so she got a bunch of signatures from the police officers, including Ruger, who is the police dog.
Aww.
So very cool. It's a lot of fun.
That's adorable.
It was pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. So yeah. So anyway, so you're looking. So you see a lot of standard stuff. There are a few things that come across that seem a little interesting. You see this trap. It looks like a standard hunter's trap, and you're used to pressing on the plate and it snaps. However, it seems like when you get close to it, it snaps without you needing to touch anything. You see a blowgun, except it's got like a small telescope on it.
Scoped blowgun? That's awesome.
You see you come across a boomerang, but the boomerang, instead of having both of them being curved edge, one of them has a spike on the end. And a few other kind of weird knickknacks like that.
Okay. I'm gonna hold up the boomerang. What's this?
Oh, that? Haven't quite come up with a good name for it. It's a boomerang with a spike on it, so the best I could come up with was a spikerang. But it just doesn't seem to roll off the tongue well, so I'm still workshopping the name. But it's essentially what I constructed it to be is a boomerang that you could also use in melee range if you need to.
Interesting.
Maybe you could call it the fly stabber.
That's not bad. I'm still workshopping the name.
How much is this blow dart gun?
The blow. I call it a long-ranged blowgun. Once again, workshopping the name. Names aren't really my thing, if you haven't noticed. I just come up with great ideas. I don't really think about what they're called. I'd be able to part with that for, I'd say, 15 gold pieces, and then you could get a pack of, 10 or 20 darts. We'll call that like 5 silver piece per dart, or per pack. Per pack.
Is it special darts for it?
Yeah. What do they do? Like, are they poison or?
Poison darts? That's a great idea! I hadn't thought about that! And then you see him pick out a piece of parchment and, a pencil kind of digs out from behind his ear and starts scribbling notes down. He goes, "Oh, I have to get the dosage right because you don't want to, kill right away. But you want to make sure," and you just start scribbling.
A dangerous little man.
I see your point! By the way, Claire, that was for a character, not for me, so that doesn't count.
Totally counts. Still counts.
No.
What did you design the darts to do then, if they don't have something in them?
Well, the main design was for the blow dart, or for the blowgun. The darts I just was like, blow dart gun. They're darts, whatever. They'll be fine. You're gonna hurt somebody with it anyway. The telescope putting it on there just gives it long range capabilities. So.
Can I check the accuracy on this?
Sure, absolutely.
Speaking as someone who's actually tried to fire a blow dart, I have questions about lung capacity and diaphragm strength. in order for that to work. But
I play the bagpipes.
You're talking to a gnome with a telescope eye.
I know.
Okay. All right. So you want to test the accuracy of it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm assuming it's something you, like when you put it up to your mouth, like the scope is actually against your eyeball.
Yeah. And the scope's not. And what's you find surprising about it is you would expect, because it's this, it's not massive, but it's a big telescope that's like, 3/4 the size of the blow dart or the blowgun.
Yep.
You'd expect it to like weigh it down, but the metal for some reason is like lightweight, so you barely notice any weight difference for what you would expect it to be. You do look through the eyepiece, and it looks like, the shop isn't big, mind you, so you'd have to like go outside to check the accuracy and see how far you can go. But it looks
Does
pretty.
he have like a little targeted area or like a little target or something?
Not in his shop. And he says, like, well, if you want to go test, like, the accuracy of it, you might want to go out into the courtyard and shoot at one of the targets in the courtyard, because those targets are out there free for people to test out weapons and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. I'll be right back.
All right. All right, so you head outside, and you go, and you find the, and you go outside, and you'd say that there is a target that's in the middle of the courtyard that nobody is shooting at, and it's about 75 feet away from where you are right now.
Okay.
So if you want to, you have a crossbow.
No. In fact, I want to say at some point or another I might have grabbed a bow, but I didn't actually mark that down. So I'm gonna go with I don't actually have anything right now.
Okay. You have your rapier.
Yeah, I've got rapier and two daggers, something like that.
Okay. What is your bonus for attacking with the rapier?
+7.
+7? Okay, so are you proficient with ranged weapons?
I don't believe I am.
Okay.
Well, it's like simple and martial. So it's like
Simple,
some ranged weapons
yeah.
are simple and some are martial.
Okay, so this would be considered a martial ranged weapon.
Okay, yeah, I'm not proficient with that.
Okay, so then let's add, I think for martial, that would be...
Right?
What would that be?
Strength, I think, right?
Well, for
I will-
ranged is
Usually dexterity.
I was going to say, I will go to the...
Not your proficiency.
Even if it's martial.
Well, martial and simple are the type of weapon. Ranged and melee are what determines dex or strength. And then if it's finesse, you can choose.
Okay. Alright. Alright, I'm just double checking because I want to make sure I am getting this 100% right. Alright, so let's say, since you're considered not proficient in it, let's add your dexterity modifier. So, you do that, but if you are using the scope, you gain advantage.
Nice.
Ooh, yeah, 18.
18? You line up the scope, take a deep breath. It doesn't hit quite dead in the center of the target, but you definitely hit like the middle area of the target. And that does 2 piercing damage.
is it just straight up 2 piercing damage for the damage on this thing?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the range?
It is 25 to 100 feet.
25 to 100. Okay. I will purchase it.
Okay. So you walk back in, and I'll get a stat sheet for you in it here in a bit. But yeah, so that'll be 15 gold pieces, and then he looks at you and says, "And how many?" So it's 5 silver for a pack of 10 darts. How many packs do you want?
Silver for a pack. Let's see how much silver. How many darts do you have?
I got 50 darts. Though I may have to keep some of them because I really want to now make some poison darts, because that's a really good idea.
Well, since, my friend came up with the idea for it, could we potentially, maybe come back tomorrow and I could, for the same price, maybe get those poisonous darts?
Sure, why not?
Okay, I'll purchase the blowgun off you today, but I'll be back tomorrow for the darts.
Alright, well, I needed another project to keep me up all night, so this will be perfect for that.
Just as a side note, maybe make a different container for the poisonous darts so that you don't mix them.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Yes, I'll create a special container to make sure that we have no fatal accidents. Because, we've all probably known someone that's had something like that happen to them before, and he kind of adjusts his eye.
Well, at the spice shop, we always color coordinated things, if that would help.
I'll have to... Okay. He makes a note on the sheet he's been writing on. So are you still looking to get that blasting gunpowder there?
Yes. How much?
That'll be 50 gold pieces, but that'll get you a 5-pound bag.
5-pound bag. $50 gold.
Thank you very much. And he looks at you, Jen, and says, "Are you going to be looking for anything today?"
Not sure any sort of metal contraptions would be helpful to me.
Do you have anything that would help with her punching? That's her thing.
Oh, okay. Forgo any kind of weapons. Your fists are your weapons of choice. Interesting.
I mean, I've got this, and I take out my quarterstaff and kind of flip it around and then put it back. These are the real money makers.
I totally just picture that bear on YouTube. It's just like,
Interesting. I may have something for that. Let me see. And he kind of shuffles back to, a kind of a back part of the area, and you hear kind of like clang, 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 digging around. Come on, I know you're here. Sorry, I'm looking for something in particular. Oh my gosh. Okay, fine, I'll do it this way.
Some brass knuckles with antlers on them. He calls them the moose knuckles. Alright, so he walks back out, and he's holding this large, it's a staff. It's very similar to what you have, except instead of it just being like a wooden quarterstaff, there is a
blade on the top of it. And he looks at it and he's like, that staff, I'm sure it probably does you fine and good, but this is Yakilwa. Hold on. There's a pronunciation. Yik-ulwa. Yik-ulwa. It's great because not only can you do the thwack like with a quarterstaff, you can also throw it. And he holds it out for you to hold, or holds it out for you to take if you want. It's light. I mean, it's fairly well balanced. You do a couple of those like. He's like, it's up to you if you want to.
And you said, does it throw like a spear then?
Yes. It's not very well balanced for throwing, so it's not as well balanced as a spear because the head of the blade is kind of a little bit heavier, but it does have a throw range of up to 30 feet.
I'm wondering because I'm only proficient in simple weapons.
It is considered a simple melee weapon.
Okay.
Would it work along the lines of like a spear sword?
Yeah, it's essentially what it is.
It has a sword on the end.
It's a steel blade that's about 15 inches long.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes.
It's like my height.
Yeah. And so it's about a 2, and he sees you holding it and looks like how gargantuan it is against you, and he goes, oh, sorry. And he takes it from you, kind of eyeballs about a foot, and go on the wood part, takes out a small hatchet and goes, hands it back to you. So it's now about a 2 foot, whereas before it was a 3 foot long wooden staff. It's now a 2 foot long wooden staff with a 15-inch blade on the top.
Yeah, so now it's more top heavy. How much do you want for this?
Oh, for that I'd part with it for 2 gold pieces.
Okay. I'll kind of hook it cross against the other staff.
There you go. Look at you!
I will give him the 2 gold.
Alright.
So, can you, when you get a moment, send me the stats on that?
Sure can.
Or just the name of it so I can look it up?
Sure. YKLWA.
YKLWA.
Yik-ulwa.
Gesundheit.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I feel like.
I just have to shorten it to the stabby stick for...
The stabby stick.
Stabby stick. I dig it.
Stabby stick.
And finally he looks at you, Clancy, and says, anything catch your eye?
What do you have in the way of either blades or anything that aids with magic?
Well, I've got all kinds of blades here. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Anything that's got a little bit of enhancement to it?
Alright, let me see here. I mean, I've got some things here that'll work. That may work for what you're looking for, and I got some things that'll definitely make you feared across any battlefield, even if you're a Neanderthal and using just a blade. Let me see what I got in the back, and he wanders off, and once again you hear clatter, clatter, clatter. Oh, that's where that is! I've been looking for that. I've got to remember that. That was a part of a different project I was working on, and all this kind of stuff. He does walk out. Let's see here. Trying to find which thing. Okay. And he walks out, and he has, and he says, "Now I'm not sure if this is exactly what you might be looking for." And he walks out with this mace. He says, "This mace, I was able to get it infused with some magical properties. So it does more than just hit people. It hits people really hard. And if you ever do come across any zombies, because you know there's zombies out there." Morag, that flashes you back to that cart merchant from a week or so ago.
Cursed.
Now this one, like I said, I normally don't have any good names. This one I called Lightbringer. This will cost you a pretty penny though, but it will definitely knock some sense into whoever you hit with it.
How much is
Lance's
it?
not a whacker, he's a stabber.
Yeah, there's that.
Well, it'll cost you about 290 gold.
Yeah, that's the. I was like, what does a pretty penny mean?
The prettiest of penny. Oh, if that's out of your price range, let me see. She's digging around in the back. And he sticks his head out. You said you're more of a stabber than a smasher?
Yes.
Okay, alright. Let me see if...
Stabby.
Let me see if I can find something here. Ding, ding, I mean, like, I don't know about this.
Clancy is a friend.
Da 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 da.
Lately he's been stabbing everything he can find.
Alright. He said, "Well, I've got something here. Maybe a little bit more up your speed." And he comes out with this long sword. I'm not sure if you're proficient with martial weapons or not. Or if you can even use martial weapons.
Sorcerer? I'm not sure.
It'd be over in proficiencies in languages under weapons.
And D&D Beyond.
Just crossbow, light weapons, a dagger, dart, quarterstaff, and a sling. So I assume slingshot.
It's simple weapons mostly.
Yeah. And he's like, this may be...
Yeah, not even all the weapons. That's it.
Yeah.
Daggers, darts, slings, quarterstaffs, and light crossbows. That's it.
Yeah. Well,
like you just don't get your right in 5e. You don't get you can't not do it. It's just you don't get your proficiency.
Yeah. All right. So he said, "Well, I can. If you want to look at the other short swords and stuff like that, I can absolutely, we can absolutely look at that. But I'm not sure if I have anything that's gonna be more than what you've got that's within your price range. Sorry about that."
But what is the... I mean, are they just regular swords, or are they enhanced in some way?
Well, I could show you the back. I could pull out some of the nicer stuff from the back. But if 290 gold is a bit out of your price range for Lightbringer, not sure what else you'd be able to afford. That's gonna be nicer. That's gonna be like that.
Well, maybe I can find something in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, I tend to... I'm coming up with new stuff all the time, though. And, us blacksmiths, we tend to trade amongst each other to get something that we think will work best, so...
Have you ever come up with something, a blade that also sets things on fire? I'd be very interested in that.
Wow. All right. That's a bit crazy, but all right. All right. Well, I think is there anything else I can help you folks with tonight?
I believe that might actually be everything.
All right. Well, you well, if you're looking for food, there's a couple good restaurants just outside the Spike Javelin Marketplace. So, good luck with that. And we'll see you. And he points to you, Flynn. He's like, I'll see you tomorrow to pick up those poison darts there, my friend.
Yes.
Alright, now get out of here. I got work to do.
We're both just standing there laughing at each other.
Now get up. Alright. And you guys make your way out. Some of you equipped with new weapons. Some of you equipped with new inventory. And with that, I think we will call it for the night. Whew. That was stressful, you guys.
Stressful.
It's been a while since you've come up with a name on the fly, hasn't it?
Well, #FantasyNameGenerator.com. If you'd buy, if they sold stock, I'd buy it.
The rock walls.
I completely blanked and I'm kind of, my brain got splattered. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
It was a beautiful blank.
It was pretty amazing.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
So are we raiding? What's going on now?
Let me check to say who is available.
Do that in outro, or are we just out now?
We're not. We're still here. Hi.
I don't know. So
I don't know.
always trouble, right?
There you go.
Thank you for watching the replay.
Yes. No. Thank you. Yep. I didn't do the spiel. Go ahead.
Just keep smiling.
I don't remember what the outro is.
Alright.
I don't do it.
So we will. All right. So we smile and wave, boys. Just smile and wave. So we'll be doing the replay at 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern tomorrow. Otherwise, we will be back Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern to see where the party ends up. In the meantime, go check out the break room, the Discord. Go check out the YouTube. Go check out the TikTok. Thanks to everybody that came in. I saw we had a raid, so thank you for that. We appreciate it. We had a hype train right at the beginning. That was awesome. We appreciate you guys so much. Hype train. And in the meantime, yeah, we will raid out to our friends over at Blue Cottage to say hi and bye, as always. And thank you for watching. We appreciate you guys so much. And we will see you next time. For the people watching on Wednesday, hi. And for everybody else, we will catch you on the flippity flop. Have a good one.
Bye.